A board of directors finds itself being sued by shareholders. Well, in today's corporate world, this barely warrants mention in the business media. But new shareholder litigation involving the board of Boeing shakes this up in a way that should give all board members pause. You're all familiar with the safety and regulatory mess Boeing's found itself in over the past couple of years involving its 737 MAX jetliner. Engineering and safety shortcuts were made to get the plane into service, and internal warnings were either ignored or bypassed. The result? 2 737 crashes that took hundreds of lives, a sharp loss of confidence in management, and an ongoing stock price hit. The strike suits were inevitable, of course, targeting the company management and the board of directors, but one new action stands out, and it could be a pattern for future investor suits and a loud warning for all boards of directors. In September, several public pension funds filed litigation in Delaware that goes beyond the usual derivative claims against Boeing. This lawsuit specifically targets the board for the structure and actions of its response to the 737 mess. An article in the Wall Street Journal says the plaintiffs claim the board took almost a month to meet after the first 737 crash in 2018. Following a second crash, the Boeing board formed a special Committee on Airplane Policies and Processes to investigate. But the suit notes that while the panel met frequently, some directors attended less than a quarter of its meetings. Digging into committee minutes and communications, the pension fund claims that CEO Dennis Muhlenberg soft-pedaled the 737 problems to Boeing's board, and that the response was, quote, passivity and silence. So here's why this matters to you and your board. The governance expectations on boards of directors have risen steadily. When a crisis strikes, investors are no longer accepting vague answers to where was the board. They'll be looking closely at the tactical responses of your board. What specifically did they do? Did they add a special committee to act? How quickly? Who was on it? And how often did they meet? What was the quantity, quality, and depth of communication between key directors and management? Was the board simply dutiful in its job, or did they go above and beyond? And remember, plaintiffs now will be able to dig into all of your board and committee agendas, minutes, and communications in search of oversights. How the Boeing suit will turn out, we don't know yet. But in future, your somber board expressions of concern when a problem strikes won't be enough. You'll need nuts and bolts proof of urgent board performance. I'm Ralph Ward from the Boardroom for October.